Alright, so I've got my original craft beer club, and it's $40 a month. They send you 12 beers. This month it's bottles, and they're going to send 2 from each brewery that they feature, and which equates to 4 different beers and 12 beers total, so 3 of each. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Two Brothers, and they're from Warrenville, Illinois. And their style is inspired by their time living in Europe, and so they decided to come back, realize that there weren't any American breweries doing anything close to what they experienced in Europe, and so they decided to open their own brewery and focus on the European style. So one of the beers that they have, Domaine du Page, which is a French country ale, or also known as a garden beer. It's very amber in color, and it is easily drinkable, nice malty backbone, matched out with a very light amount of hops, or should I say the right amount of hops. As typical with German beers, they do not overdo the hops at all, which is great. I like it. It's 5.9 ABV and 24 IBU. Very pleasurable, easy to drink, nice beer. Really can't complain about it too much. Next is the Sidekick Extra Pale Ale. It is an American Pale Ale style, but as you can see, it is very, very light versus the amber that you just saw. And it's 5.1 ABV and 36.1 IBU, which never seen a point after an IBU, but it's there. And the smell of it, I mean, I get a passion fruit smell, which I usually never get from a beer when people describe it as that, but definitely get it in this. And the hops are very fruity, and there's not a lot of maltiness to it, but it's good because it doesn't have that crazy bitterness that you're going to get from hops in most cases. So very happy with both of those beers. Two Brothers is absolutely outstanding. They said that they're opening a tap house and brewery in Scottsdale, which I definitely will have to try to go visit. That would definitely be awesome to check out the other beers that they're making. So the next company I'm going to be talking about is from Pennsylvania, and more so Pittsburgh, and they focus on the German style of beer, mainly because the owner, Tom, he is a descendant of some of the first immigrants to the United States from Germany, and also has a German restaurant in his brewery. So as you can also see from their bottles, they have a very German style feel and look to the bottle. And we'll start off with the Penn Gold, and this is going to be a pale Munich Helles lager. And it says it's a far departure from what we would call a light beer, so I'm very interested to see what it is like. You can see it is very, very light in color versus, well, actually that's about the same. 4.5 ABV, 20 IBU. It says it's won 4 gold medals at the Great American Beer Festival. Soft and malty is about as what I would give it, which is actually what they describe here. That's why I find it so funny. It's not exciting. It's pretty boring. Very stupidly easy to drink, which is okay. But I would argue Coors Light is easy to drink as well. It has a little bit of spice with the hops. I'm not a big fan of that. Usually that comes from dry hopping. I've seen people do it in saisons and it just ruins the entire beer. But definitely a light spice that coincides with the hop flavor. So the next is the Kaiser Pils, which is a northern German Pilsner. I'm not sure what it is with this box and all the light beers, especially because this box came out in January and it's summer now, but normally you wouldn't expect to be drinking a lot of light beers in the winter. But it's 4.5 ABV and 45 IBUs, so definitely significantly bitter than the Penn Gold that I just tried. And let's see, this is the German style of an American Pilsner. Nope. This has a floral and aromatic hop nose and a malty backbone. All three of those are a complete lie. This, I would argue, is if you were to take a Budweiser and double the hops, that's what you're getting. It does say it has hopping rates comparable to American Pale Ales, but it doesn't have the maltiness to coincide with it. It's just as if they threw in hops to add hops. So, yeah. Penn Brewery, no thank you. I love German style beers, but they did a terrible job with the two that they sent. Either they are terrible examples of the brewery, or they just suck at producing German style beers. Two Brothers, on the other hand, outstanding job replicating the European style here in the United States. Man, those beers were great, and honestly I'm excited to drink more of those. So unfortunately my box is 50-50. These beers I probably will pawn off on somebody who says they like German style beers, and they probably won't even notice the difference because they probably don't drink a lot of German beer or know what the hell they're talking about. So those will be pawned off on somebody else. I probably will not crack another one open of those myself. But the other Two Brothers, absolutely, I will probably drink all of those myself, and very happily. So for $40, getting only 12 beers, I mean, you can't really say it's totally worth it, but then again, getting to experience these breweries and knowing that one is going to be coming to Scottsdale are all things that are why I signed up for the service. So this is actually my last box, and it's kind of a good description of how I feel about the service overall. Sometimes I'm like, man, you guys knocked it out of the park. You chose an amazing brewery, you chose very two approachable but very good beers. Awesome job. Then they choose another brewery that kind of similar, but two stupidly close beers. And again, the whole theme, most of them are all very light beers. Where's my stouts? Seriously, I've received barely any stouts the entire time I've been subscribed to the service. And it's almost a joke. Like, do stouts just not exist, or do these breweries just not want to produce them? I highly doubt it. I guarantee I could go and find a stout that these guys produce, but for some reason they're not being sent out. Kind of a dumb idea, but overall, it's expanded my horizons and given me a lot of beers to look out for. And only once have I gotten any type of beer that I had access to. And one of the times that I actually got beer, I ended up having access to it. So if you guys saw me talk about Big Ben Brewing Co., the brewer there basically started a whole bunch of very popular breweries and then created his own. His stuff hadn't trickled up to where I lived at the time, but it now has. So technically, if I had received it now, I would have had access to it. But it's kind of cool because, with the exception of St. Arnold's, most of the breweries that I've seen literally never even seen their label before, and it's just awesome to get some cool stuff. But where's the California beers? I know that California beers are distroed everywhere, so that may be a reason why, but a lot of times they focused on East Coast style beers. So if you're on the West Coast and you want to try some beers and you just can't find anything new in your stores, boom, go with the service. You're going to find so many new East Coast style beers that you never would have had a chance to try before. Awesome for that. But if you're on the East Coast, you probably know about a lot of these breweries. You might have actually even been there and tried their beers. So I'll leave it to you guys to decide if that is worth it for you, because if I was getting beer from breweries that I had access to, why bother? So thank you very much for watching. Please watch the playlist if you want to watch all of my reviews on the original craft beer subscription. If there are other beer boxes that you want me to check out, I'm absolutely more than happy to. The reason I'm cutting this off is that I'm kind of beating a dead horse every time I get it. Not totally worth my $40, but it's a cool service. That's basically the bottom line. I've seen the Rare Beer Club. I would be very interested in checking that one out, but I've also got 4 boxes of beer that are sitting right there waiting for me to review, because I get so much beer, it's hard for me to sit down, review it, and try to stay coherent without doing 10 beer reviews all at once. So thank you very much for watching, and if you guys like my videos, please subscribe below. Thank you.